The drama surrounding Shador Sanders in Cleveland is no longer just about football, it's about respect, image, and the kind of politics that have plagued the NFL for decades. Imagine being a young quarterback walking into the team facility, putting in the work, learning the playbook, and yet knowing before you even touch the field that your own franchise has already decided you're an afterthought. That's the reality for Sanders, a fifth-round pick with first-round talent, and the son of one of the most influential figures the sport has ever seen. He isn't just fighting for reps, he's fighting to exist in a league that seems to resent the very spotlight he brings. From the moment Shedeur arrived in Berea, the energy surrounding him was complicated. Fans were excited, rookies wanted to stand next to him, and the media wanted every clip they could get. But behind the walls of the Browns facility, a different narrative was brewing. Owner Jimmy Haslam went on record on Kamada to say that as of Friday night before the draft, the team wasn't even thinking about Shador Sanders. Let that sink in. This wasn't an anonymous leak or a subtle hint from a scout. This was the owner of the Cleveland Browns, smiling into the camera, telling the world that drafting Sanders wasn't the plan. He even went as far as to say that if someone told him Friday night that Shedeur would be wearing brown and orange by Saturday, his response would have been, "That ain't happening." For any player, hearing that from your own boss is crushing. But for Shedeur, the weight of that statement carries history. This isn't just about talent. This is about lineage, perception, and the uncomfortable truth about how the NFL treats confident, outspoken black men. The moment the Browns owner dismissed him publicly, the story shifted from sports to something bigger. Because while Sanders' skill set is NFL ready, while his leadership and poise have already been proven, he isn't being judged by his tape alone. He's being judged by his DNA, by being Deion Sanders' son. The league has never been fully comfortable with the unapologetic boldness of Coach Prime. We've seen this play out before. Eli Manning and his family told the Chargers not to draft him. It didn't hurt his draft stock at all. He was celebrated for controlling his destiny. But when a young black quarterback even hints at confidence, or when his father brings attention, the league suddenly treats him as a problem. Shedeur didn't demand trades. He didn't give ultimatums. He simply existed as the son of a legend, and for that, he was made to wait until the fifth round. A public humbling that felt more like a message than a football decision. Stephen A. Smith said it best. This wasn't just unprofessional, it was destructive. Stephen A. and Riddick broke it down on national television, peeling back the polished PR language to expose the core truth. This wasn't about meritocracy. This was about control. The NFL smiles at black talent, but it bristles at black independence. Deion Sanders has been a walking reminder of that since his college days. Brought cameras, attention, and swagger to Colorado. He made HBCUs relevant on a national stage. He did it his way, unapologetically. And now, the league seems determined to make his son pay the price for that audacity. Shedeur didn't fall in the draft because of skill, he fell because the NFL wanted to humble the Sanders name, and then came the insult on top of the injury. Not only was Shedeur drafted late, but he was immediately placed into a situation where he is barely seeing the field. Reports from camp say he's getting 3, maybe 4 reps in practice. That isn't a competition, that's sabotage. How can any quarterback develop timing, confidence, and rhythm with that little opportunity? How do you showcase growth in preseason games if you never touch the ball in live drills? You can't, and that's the point. This is how narratives get built in the NFL. Freeze a player out, give him crumbs of opportunity, then call him unprepared. When the lights come on, meanwhile Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco get the lion's share of reps, it's the chance to fail and recover, while Sanders is set up to fail quietly. This is more than just unfair, it's calculated. Jimmy Haslam's comments weren't casual. They were strategic. He wanted the league to know, don't blame me for this one. This wasn't my call. He wanted distance in case Sanders never plays. And if Sanders thrives somewhere else, he'll shrug and say it just didn't work out in Cleveland. But for now, he's sending a clear message to his coaches and front office. Shedeur isn't our guy, and that message spreads like poison through a building. Teammates start to wonder if the kid will ever get a shot. coaches start splitting focus, and fans, who already see the potential, feel the tension between hype and reality. The double standard couldn't be clearer. White quarterbacks with big names and decent college tape are given years of benefit of the doubt. Black quarterbacks with elite production are given days. And when those black quarterbacks arrive with confidence, when they refuse to shrink themselves to make the system comfortable, they're treated like a threat. Shador Sanders is the walking embodiment of that double standard. He's polished, poised, and prepared, but because he carries the aura of Deion Sanders, the NFL has labeled him a problem to be managed rather than a star to be nurtured. Stephen A. called it what it is, a hit job. Riddick went further, saying what everyone in front offices knows, but rarely says out loud: meritocracy in the NFL is a myth. The best players don't always play. Politics run deep. Coaches have their favorites. GMs protect their investments. Owners care about image first, production second. And when a young black quarterback doesn't have someone pounding the table for him in that building, he's already behind before he throws a single pass. That's why Shador's story resonates. Beyond Cleveland, it's a mirror reflecting the league's ongoing struggle with how it treats black quarterbacks who refuse to fit the mold. Cam Newton lived it. Lamar Jackson felt it early in his career. Colin Kaepernick's story became the extreme version of what happens when black excellence challenges the comfort of the system. And now, Shedeur is the next chapter, not because of anything he's done wrong, but because he dares to exist without apology. And let's not pretend this is just bad optics. This is dangerous for his career. Quarterbacks' early years are critical. Confidence is currency. Reps are lifeblood. Every day Sanders stands on the sideline is a day wasted. A day where the team isn't just stunting his growth there, trying to break him quietly. If the Browns won't invest in him, then they need to do the right thing and trade him. Let him go to a team that actually wants him, that will give him a fair shot to compete, that will recognize the star he already is. Atlanta, Las Vegas, Denver, teams hungry for a quarterback. Teams that could build around his talent and leadership are out there. Keeping him in Cleveland just to freeze him out isn't development. It's dismantling, because make no mistake, Sanders doesn't need charity. He doesn't need handouts. He needs opportunity. He has earned that with his stats, his work ethic, and his composure under pressure. He's not just a name, he's proof. Proof that greatness can come from outside the NFL's rigid system, that swagger and intelligence can coexist, that black quarterbacks can lead without bowing to outdated expectations. And that's exactly why the league fears him. They don't want Shedeur to succeed on his own terms, because it would validate everything Deion Sanders has been saying about breaking the mold. If Cleveland can't see that, they can't appreciate the gift they've been given, then they need to step aside and let someone else take the wheel. Because Shador Sanders deserves better, not just as a quarterback, but as a man. He deserves a franchise that looks at him and sees possibility, not politics. A team that will judge him for his throws, not his last name. Front office that will support him instead of disowning him in public before he's even had a chance. To fail, the league will regret this. It will regret underestimating the quiet fire in Shador Sanders. It's the same fire that's carried him through every level of doubt and disrespect. Because eventually, talent and perseverance break through politics. And when that happens, the same teams that dismissed him will be the ones watching him light up Sundays in another uniform, wondering how they let history slip through their fingers. For now, though, the story is clear. Shador Sanders is trapped in a chapter he didn't write, in a city that hasn't embraced him, under an owner who has already written him off. But chapters can end. And when this one does, the next team that gives him a real chance will get more than a quarterback. They'll get a leader, a fighter, a symbol of everything the NFL tried to suppress. So what do you think? Should the Browns trade Shedeur Sanders now? Or will they finally recognize the gem they're burying on their own sideline? Drop your thoughts below, and if you believe in holding teams accountable for how they treat their players like this video, hit subscribe and join the conversation. This story is far from over.